Welcome back. In this session, we'll walk through a demo of how to create a service quotation in this system. To begin, we navigate to the Service Quotations application and click the Add button to create a new quotation. The system automatically generates the quotation number, and the date is pre-filled with the current system date, which can be changed if required. There are two ways to create a service quotation. One is based on an inquiry, and the other is a direct quotation. In this demo, we'll create a direct quotation, meaning there is no reference inquiry. Next, we define the operating unit, which is the location or division responsible for submitting this quotation. The submission status appears as pending by default. We can define the validity of this quotation. In this case, we'll set it to 30 days. Then we move on to payment terms. For example, payment could be 100% on delivery. Delivery terms can also be defined if required. Now we select the customer. Here we're selecting Docking Saudi Arabia Limited, and then we choose the customer's site or location where the service will be provided. In this example, we're selecting the DAC LR62 site. Once selected, the contact details such as the person's name, position, email, and phone number get automatically populated. If we have a reference number and date, say from an earlier discussion or document, we can enter those details here. For this demo, let's assume the reference date is yesterday. Now, coming to the author remarks section, if needed, the author, meaning the person creating the quotation, can add a note or comment for the manager here. In this setup, the system has been configured to require managerial approval before a quotation can be printed or submitted to the customer, so the author can include any remarks, along with submitting the quotation for approval. For this demo, we'll leave the remarks field blank and go ahead and save the quotation. The quotation is now successfully created, and we can proceed to add services. We'll include 3 different types of services in this example to demonstrate the variety of service billing models. The first service is drill pipe structural inspection, which is a quantity-based service. The quoted rate for this service is pulled from either the service modeling module or from a negotiated rate defined in the customer record. If a rate is not defined for this customer, it defaults to the standard modeling rate. You can still override the rate if needed. In our case, we'll set the quantity to 20. The service is scheduled for delivery between the 26th and 28th of the month. And adjust the quoted rate to 780. In the Statement of Work section, we can mention inspecting and testing drilling pipes at the client site. We'll then save this line item. The second service is bottom hole assembly inspection, which is charged on a per-service basis. This is a package service, meaning it includes multiple activities under one price. The service is needed from the 27th to the 30th of this month. And the statement of work will be testing and inspection of equipments on site. In this case, we're quoting 1 unit at 440, which we've adjusted from the base rate. We save this line as well. The third service is a machine operator on an hourly basis. This is a resource-based service billed according to the number of hours worked. The rate is 40 per hour. Let's assume the service is needed between June 9th and June 30th, and we expect around 148 hours of work. We enter the quantity as 148. Then, we'll define the statement of work and save this service line. Now, let's explore more details about these services. For the drill pipe inspection, we can see what resources are required to perform the service. These are pulled automatically from our service modeling configuration. Some of these resources are arranged by the service provider, some by the client. If there are any add-on charges for resources provided by the vendor, they can be specified here. For example, if a resource not arranged by the client is needed, the service provider may charge an additional rate, which can be added here. Next, we can view the service tasks. For this service, 3 tasks are included in the quoted price. If the client needs an additional task, say a 4th one, it would be charged at 75 per unit. Since we're servicing 20 units, the client will be charged accordingly if that 4th task is required. The same applies to the bottom hole assembly service. 2 tasks, such as visual inspection and surface cleaning, are included. Additional services like ultrasonic testing or gauge testing are available as add-ons and will be charged at $140 per unit. This gives us a service quotation with 3 diverse types of services: 1 quantity-based, 1 packaged per service, and 1 resource-based on hourly billing. Each behaves differently in terms of rate and billing logic. Now that all services are added, the next step is to submit this quotation for managerial approval. Until the manager approves it, the quotation cannot be shared with the customer or printed. Let's go ahead and submit the quotation for approval. The submission is now complete. In the next video, we'll walk through how the manager reviews and approves the quotation, what happens if there are any comments or revisions, and how the approved quotation is finalized and shared with the client. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next session.